Good morning and welcome to the Innovators Insider Podcast. We are live today talking about Onshape release 1.148. And we're excited to have our visitors here with us today. Leave your comments and we will answer any questions that you might have. We'd like to have a little discussion here this morning, so please join us and get involved. And now let's go ahead and bring in my co-host, Michael LaFleche, the professor. Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
Good, Richard. How are you doing on this lovely Monday morning?
Fantastic. It is 5:30 a.m. here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. So why don't we kick this thing off and let's take a look at some of the updates to Onshape today.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to wake up on a Monday morning and get my coffee and deliver the update, which is, one of my favorite jobs that I have. Let's talk about release 1.148. And there are a number of key improvements that people have been asking for and some things that we've been cooking up as well. So I think one of the favorites that I think, everybody likes are the productivity improvements, right? Anything that can help you sketch things faster, make things faster, so this is one of them right here. I'm going to add this to the stream. Our
while you're looking at that, let's welcome our friend John McClary in. Good morning, John.
Hey, John, how you doing this morning? Happy to see you with us. So on the continuous drag to trim, this will help you. Well, let's show it off first.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, let's go to this little pulse oximeter here, and perhaps I want to go in, create a sketch over here. Look at this normal to the view here and create like some kind of rib network, right? So yeah, I'm just going to go hog wild, just putting in some geometry here. This is probably not a very good idea for a rib network, but that's why I don't work in industry anymore.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of sketches that I've done.
So yeah, this is there's a lot going on here. So if you wanted to trim this up, right, you have your standard trim tool here, and instead of like clicking like each time, right, it shows you a nice kind of highlight. It's very intuitive, right, as to showing you what's going to get trimmed. What if you just kind of start right here, kind of in this open space? I start dragging, right? So now we can, start, giving you that kind of nice effect there, right? Where you can trim a whole bunch of stuff at once. So let's, a little trick just for even more productivity, but also making it look really cool at the same time is, having.
I like it when something looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, watch this. This is going to be fun. Just a little behind the scenes stuff. So let's say I have a rib network that looks like this first, right? So I just go in, get myself a rib using the search here. I'll pick that sketch, the entire sketch for the profile, and that's going to be the part. And, you have the option of, creating a rib network in that kind of fashion, right? So pretty standard stuff. One thing I like to do is when I'm editing the sketch to modify that trim network, turn on that final button. And then as you're drawing, you're going to see, things, update on the fly, which is really helpful for rib networks, right?
That is so sweet.
Yeah, we're seeing that live right there. And then, of course, I can use that power trim right there. Just the drag to trim, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just an option. It's not even an option, right? It just kind of works intuitively, right? So pretty cool that is here, and it's just a part of the experience.
Yep. And a nice little tip too on that final button. I think a lot of folks might miss that. I know I did for quite some time until somebody pointed it out to me. And it makes a big difference when you're working like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get rid of these here since this is a kind of nice model that I like to use often. So that one, I don't know what else there is to say about it.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic is what it is.
Yeah, John's got good vibes here. We got Mr. Singh here. Good evening.
Yeah. He says good evening. I'm guessing he's somewhere in a different time zone than we are.
Yes. Yeah, it's 8:30 here in Boston for me, so I can't complain at all right now compared to what you guys are going through. So what's next? All right, this one is a fairly good one. Let me just rewind that little thing here. Subassembly BOM options. So, there have been some options in the bill of materials for quite some time to show things in the ways that you might want, but being able to mix and match them is really nice. So I'm not gonna try to attempt rebuilding this, but I'm gonna let Roy Metallic here demonstrate to us, and I'll narrate here. So essentially, right in our assembly, you have a bill of materials, and there's a handle subassembly that you're looking at right here. And this handle subassembly might be a purchased item that you can just purchase from a vendor, and it's made up of several pieces, but you don't want to show it as several pieces in the bill of materials. So there were options to not include a whole thing in the bill of materials, but here I can choose one item at a time out of my BOM to show just the assembly in this case, because that's all I'm ordering, right? Yep. And then I'm going to give it a part number, right? That's the part number from the vendor. And there's the side handle assembly, right? Now you want the side handle assembly because you want the parts, you want, to move things for example, but that's it. And then you can also show it in the kind of opposite fashion as Roy just showed here, is you can show just the parts only if you don't care about the assembly, if you're using it for just organizational purposes, like in your Onshape system in your library or whatever, right? So that is BOM display options, and that seems to be one of the things people are excited about.
It certainly is one of the favorites. You can see John's comment right now. And I saw several of pretty much the same comment in the forums this morning. So yeah, everybody's excited about that one. I'm glad to see that you added that part number there, because when I was looking at this morning, kind of going over, I thought, why is that part number missing?
Yeah, and everybody knows how you can add part numbers. If you have Onshape Pro or Enterprise, you can pull a part number based on a rule, or you can just type it in right there in the BOM, like in that case, because it's a vendor part, right? You can use their part number.
Welcome, Indra from India is joining us today.
Welcome, Indra. Pleasure to meet you today. All right. What is next? All right. This one is one of the minor annoyances that I have, because I'll tend to create a copy of a document, but another thing that I'm going to give a power tip on right here could happen from this. So let's just play the video here,
because this copy is good enough for me. I'm with you. This was an annoyance for me, and I'm glad to see it now.
Yeah. So when you made a copy, it would automatically open the next document, whether you needed it or not at that moment. But sometimes you just want to kind of get started on a day. I want to create 2 or 3 copies of a document, and the reason why I do it personally, because I'm not a big fan of making copies unless you really have to.
Yes.
So my reason for doing it is, let's see, am I using the right account here? Not really, but I want to create a document every time from a template. Okay. So, let's say, well, let's just create a document here. I'm going to call it template document. Okay. And in my template document, I like to have, some folders, one for my renderings, one for my documents. Okay. And then I like naming my assembly, comma, something. And I like calling this Part Studio, which I just accidentally deleted. We'll call this the layout, let's say, because this might be a layout for my first piece of a design. So I'm just getting everything laid out. I might even have like a standard, PDF or something, or image that I always like to have in a document. So I have this document like ready to go. There's like maybe standard variables that I have. We'll call this height. And the height, I'm going to default at 15 or whatever. So I have all this stuff ready. Like I go out, get my assembly template set, get configurations maybe set. So everything's just perfect and ready to go. And now I have that template doc, right? and then I can just make a copy of that now. And I would just call it new design or whatever, right? There it is. And that's just much quicker. I can just go, bloop, I have my new design, and then I'm ready to kind of go, whenever I want. Of course, I could just jump into it now. It's got all my stuff. So that's my my reason for using copy. In my personal experiences for kind of standard document kind of stuff.
Yep, pretty similar to how I'll use it.
Perfect.
Hey, we've got a new somebody new joining us. Adam Scott is here this morning. He's got a question on contact sets and a motion analysis. Little out of our scope this morning, but
yeah. I'm happy to follow up you after, Adam. But there are, this is something that's available in well, I really can't talk about it yet because it's not released yet. But there is something kind of coming relating to that. We contact sets relating to motion analysis, you want to make sure that the transfer of motion is good. So right now, if you use motion analysis in Onshape, it's kinematic motion analysis. You can move parts around. There's no forces or anything going on in during your motion simulation in Onshape currently. There are app partners, however, that do this if you look in the Onshape App Store, which we did a little thing on the Innovators Insider podcast last week. We had a partner update, so we've highlighted a few. Maybe we should do another partner update soon and do someone on the motion stuff.
The partners that joined us last week really enjoyed it, and it's getting quite a number of views. So, and Aaron's keen to have more of his partners on the podcast. So,
sweet.
I'm guessing we're going to do some more of those.
All right. Search filter for feature studios. This is one I'm going to love because I love kind of scrubbing, looking around for like cool custom features that people have made and shared publicly. So in this case, what's going to happen, and actually I'll just show it live. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't. All right. So now I can go ahead. There it is in the search. I have feature studio, and I'm going to look for something with spur gear in it or something. Actually, I got to look.
There we go.
Excuse me, a little bit of sneeze there. Let's see. Gonna look for a spur gear. That's right. Just like that, we see all the spur gears out there, right? So here's the this one has 16 links. This one's probably the main one, 596. That's another one. That's somebody else's. Interesting. But anyway, this makes it way easier to find custom features. That's for sure, especially in your own account if you're a prolific user of them or whatever. But the public space is a huge treasure trove of.
I imagine folks like Alnus and Chad, even Evan, will really like this upgrade.
Totally. And just looking at through some of the comments here, Adam is talking about kinematic move parts around mates like tangent. Yes, we can do that, Adam. There is the ability to establish a tangent mate between two parts contact wise and create some kind of kinematic motion through that. That's totally there. Yeah. We'll see if I can find an example before the end of the show here. Let's see.
And now we're going to get to my
drawings.
Favorites.
Yes, drawing improvements.
I love drawings.
Yes. So this one, very nice productivity improvement when you're going out and creating drawing views, right? So let's bring up our pulse ox here. I think I have a drawing in here.
Would you believe me if I told you this was the first one I tried out this morning?
Come on, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to see it work, and it works really, really well.
Yeah. So on the on a Mac, you'll hold down the Option key on your keyboard, and on a PC, you'll hold the Alt key down. And what this will do is it'll create a copy of a drawing view, which is very helpful if you want to show like one view next to another, and it's derived from it or whatever. So. Here I have
one view wireframe, one view shaded. All kinds of different reasons why you might do that.
So you got a little plus sign there. You let go. And
very nice.
You have it, right? So it is what it is, right?
I love it when something just works like it should. You know?
Yep. So you can make the view, change the configuration of it, you know, whatever it might be, right? So
Yep.
pretty self-explanatory. All right. Style panel callouts. So more style panel support. Looks like we're supporting callouts and surface finish symbols in that style panel. Just in case you don't know where the style panel is, you know, as you select on an object, you have styles right here. And as you select items, you could maybe just select these two and alternate these items. So just like we showed in the update, it supports surface finish symbols, right? And callouts. So if I pick that, there's the style panel. Nice. Works like a charm.
Yep, got more folks joining us. 6 miles tall. That's a new one. Any news for dimensioning arc lengths and drawings?
Arc length and drawing. I know we can do arc length in a part studio. That's for sure. Just I want to see that. Let's see.
And John McCleary, yeah, that was my first thought as well, John. I don't know why they went with the Alt key instead of the Control key.
I did bring this up too, but it has to do with all the different devices that we support and the web browser stuff. You know, we can't use the traditional Windows key for, you know.
Well, we don't need to be traditional anyway.
All right, let's see. So to do an arc length on a part studio, you would do click, 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 I think, or which way is it? I think I just click the arc itself. That's what it is. That's radius. Yeah, I know.
Well, that looked like it should work, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I'm let's click. There we are.
There we go.
Yeah, I just have to do it in that order. So click the two endpoints and then the that. So you get that in the feature or area, but I'm not sure we get that in the drawing just yet. So let me try it out. Well, yeah, I don't have an arc here, but let's try to pick one of these. Yeah, I doubt it's here. So what did I do? Beginning point and
no, you click arc first, wasn't it? No.
Was it?
Oh, no, you're right. Point, and then arc.
Point arc. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be there. So yeah, okay. Well, yeah, no, it's not there. Okay. Paul, well, write up that enhancement request if you haven't already. Contact support and write that up as an enhancement request. Please, because I would like to see that there as well. I'm going to do the same thing after this is over. All right. Adjusting center marks by dragging them around. You would think, that would be a good thing to do. So just in case you didn't know, you can drop in center marks, obviously, on things, right? And if I delete that just for a second.
I had the same trouble with this one this morning, Michael.
Yeah, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let's watch the video. Let's oh, if you have one with extension lines, okay. Yeah, I did. That was just a simple center mark. I probably have to change the style of my line to include center lines.
Yep.
That's probably what it is. There we are, extended lines. So I put that one in. Now I have the extended lines.
Yep.
And now I should be able to drag them out. Okay. That's
It's
all good.
We both learned how to do that right now.
All right. Good.
And 6 miles tall has written the request, Michael. So
yes, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see what else. Change cut list configuration. So this is actually pretty cool. If you have, let's see, I think I have something with a cut list here. I'm designing up a wind turbine, and I have a platform here with a cut list here, but I don't have a drawing yet for this. So let's create a drawing of this this frame. let's just do it this way, I guess.
While you're doing that, we'll welcome SS Sadat from India is joining us this morning. Welcome.
Good evening. All right, so let's grab our frame here. That's going to be a little big, but that's okay. I just want to stick a cut list on here.
And Adam keeps asking questions that he knows we can't answer.
So, yeah, Onscale is a great one that you can use today, though. That's a good point, Adam, that, Onscale's there for us to use.
Yep. And I think you're going to see it later in our update, but they were acquired by Ansys. I think that's going to be a beautiful merger.
Absolutely. So the thing that we did with the configurations here, if I configure this and just call it the A and B, configure the layout so that we have a different dimension somewhere, just so we have two configurations. All right. So we have two configurations now. We have a drawing somewhere. There we are. And now we will be able to configure, even if you didn't have a view here, you could actually change the configuration now of the bill of materials or cut list essentially of that, just by moving right. It knows that there's a configuration that's not going to work right now, so it's not showing it. So but yeah, there we are.
Yep. Nice little update.
This one is always a good one, right?
Yeah.
Drafting standards.
When we fix something that we didn't do 100% right the first time, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not awful, but it's nicer to see that cleaned up.
Yeah.
And Render Studio is getting some nice improvements, right? So this some more usability improvements. So here I am in that wind turbine again. Just hop over to the Render Studio inside of it. And I had one ready to go, but I must have hopped out really quick. But essentially the options are now in a more easy to find place. It just makes more sense to put the options here instead of in the kind of browser graph here.
Absolutely. And those are those little things, those little tiny things. These are the ones that I just absolutely love, because that makes so much sense for me right now.
Yeah.
And I know the next time I'm in a Render Studio, the first time I see that, I'm going to smile again. So
exactly. Oh, and the answer Adam's question, we do have the kinematic stuff here. So I'm just loading up this wind turbine here, doing the rendering in the background. That load up, but I'll do some spinning around here. Come on. Probably the rendering is already done, but I'll show the rendering stuff first while that's getting loaded up. So there are the new options right here. You just bring them up and they pop up over in the selection panel. And then the other option that we improved was selecting multiple objects. So let's say I wanted to select all the bolts, right? They're all called hex, right? So I'll just do a selected search for hex that selects all the bolts. And now if I hold down my option key and the shift key, I get this, and I can move them out just like that. It looks like I missed one, but that's not the end of the world. I can fix that before, but much easier to select large groups of objects, move them around, with an on-demand live manipulator instead of like trying to type in numbers and kind of guess. You just kind of drag it close to where it is. So that's that. The other thing I'll do, let me just reload this assembly. All right, and actually, let's just go to this. Here's kinematic motion, right? So we can do this kind of stuff. Actually, animate it like this. So we've had this for quite some time. Just this is just for you, Adam. So, we have the ability to animate things through mates. So to put together this planetary gear set, we have 8 mates, essentially. Revolute mates right here. Cylindrical mates, maybe. No, they're revolutes. And then 4 gear mates, just with the ratios, for the gear. It's not solving any kind of dynamics for mass or anything like that. It's purely kinematic motion, but that's part of the Onshape experience. But as far as CAD features go, that's it. More exams and courses are available. So this one's my favorite one because I really need to take it.
Me too.
It's the FeatureScript Fundamentals course. So this FeatureScript is just, it really isn't that hard to get into. I mean, don't be scared if you're not a programmer, because you can pick up, because it's a programming language made for CAD users. So a lot of the stuff is going to be auto-populating with the way we would want to do things in Onshape. So much easier to pick up than standard coding. But this is a course that will make the barrier of entry much lower now for learning and understanding FeatureScript, because it really is the superhero or secret weapon of Onshape, is being able to create these very highly customized features that work for your business.
Yeah, it's amazing what some of our users are doing with FeatureScript, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and actually learn how to use it. So yeah, I'll be taking this course very soon.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a LinkedIn user who was asking if you can make drag lines for the drawings, and you can draw some basic simple lines on a drawing. There are tools for doing that. It's not, I think, you want to do it in a parametric sketch if all possible, but you can, draw lines and arcs in the drawing. Actually, I should take that back. Lines and splines. There are no arcs. But yeah, you can drag them around, but it's not a parametric sketch or anything like that. It's just there for very, very quick references. You can insert a sketch from a 2D or from a 3D model into a 2D. That's what I did right here. You see that arc right here? There's a little line there.
Yep.
I actually imported that arc from the model because, as you can see in the top view of this is like a kind of spherical shape.
Yep.
So that would be hard to dimension in this view. So I had to take the sketch in that I used to create that arc in the first place from the model into my drawing.
Very clever.
Yeah.
You know your stuff.
I've used CAD for a little while, just like you, Richard. Let's see. I think that is. Well, let me just go to Learning Center just to show you where
there's some other in addition to the FeatureScript course, there's some other updated videos as well.
That's right.
I know we're I mean those are the kind of things that need to be updated on a regular basis, since we have a new release every 3 weeks. So
I haven't popped in here yet, so I'm excited to see it. So 2% in. All right. So this is a good course. There's quite a bit to it. All right. Yeah. Language components. Yeah. This is good. I'm going to go through this at some point this week. I really need to go through it. I definitely, we should all go through this because it really isn't that hard.
We should. The last time I did any kind of coding whatsoever was probably 25 years ago, and that was taking somebody else's Lisp program and changing a couple of parameters.
Yeah. And thanks, John, for replying to Adam. That's much appreciated. So I think that is really about it for today.
I think so too. Michael P. Is that Michael Pasco, do you think?
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Yep. Joined us a little late this morning, but we're glad you did.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to watch this as soon as we hit the end broadcast button. About 2-3 minutes later, YouTube will give you the recording. So.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Well, that's another great update. I'm really always enamored with the drawing updates. But I think the BOM improvement is the one that's getting all the kudos in the forums right now. So
yeah.
we're glad to have John here to help us out with Adam's questions. So thanks a lot, John. Pleasure.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So I really want to thank everybody for joining us today, and another good update out of the way in the books, and now it's time for the next one, right? So
and don't forget, we drop a new episode every 2 weeks on Thursday. Our last one was last Thursday, our partner broadcast, and so join us every 2 weeks. Subscribe, hit the like button for us. We'd really appreciate that, and we look forward to seeing you all with our next live update.
See y'all later.